Dubai is a stunning city in the United Arab Emirates, and they have some stunning tourist attractions and spots that are incredible to visit. Still, there are loads of people who are afraid to visit Dubai. Why are so many scared? It might be its location, or all the rules that many of us aren't used to. We will check them out and see if there is really any reason to fear traveling there. Its location. One of the biggest reasons why many people are scared of going to Dubai has to be where the city is located. They are completely in the heart of the Middle East, and that can be a frightening prospect for travelers. Dubai sits on the Persian Gulf and just across from Iran, plus it shares borders with Saudi Arabia. It is even in the same general area as Pakistan, Afghanistan, and even Iraq. You only have to open a news site, or if you are old school, a newspaper, to know that things in the Middle East can still be pretty volatile. It is a real consideration when planning your trip, but the reality is that Dubai just might be one of the safest cities to visit in the world. If you check out those same reports, you will quickly see that the United Arab Emirates generally don't come up in any of the usual conflicts. They have worked really hard to keep any problems outside of their borders, and they have been really successful when it comes to doing that. If that is your only fear when it comes to traveling to Dubai, then research into the area might alleviate those fears. Does the fact that it is a Muslim country have something to do with it? This does worry people, but it is important to note that there is a big difference between people who practice the Muslim faith and those that are Muslim extremists, and Dubai has fought hard to keep extremists out. It is true that there are a few rules that you have to follow in Dubai that many of us might not be used to, but at the same time, they do try their best to accommodate Westerners. The rules on alcohol. I must admit that if you can't enjoy a holiday without drinking, then chances are that you probably won't have a lot of fun in Dubai. Don't get me wrong, there are places you can drink. You just can't do it constantly wherever you go, but you can drink in certain areas. Still, being drunk in public or drinking in public can both land you in jail. It is law, and they take it very seriously. You might normally drink while on your way to the next destination or just relaxing somewhere, but this is not the place to do it, and believe me when I tell you, it won't be worth it. This is because the people of the Muslim faith don't drink at all, and it is completely against their religion. But still, there are hotels and bars and even clubs where you can drink and where they have no problem with it. Still, it would be wise to make sure you don't become completely stupid drunk where you can't act normally, because that is when they can and will still arrest you for public intoxication. How many of you think you can live with that, or not? Let me know in the comments. Lay off the PDA. I'm thinking Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker should probably steer clear of a trip to Dubai until they can keep their hands off each other, because it is strictly prohibited to do any public displays of affection in Dubai. Muslim faith says that public displays of affection are very inappropriate, and they want foreigners to respect these customs. Now, for many of us, we think it doesn't sound hard at all. We don't think that we indulge in PDA anyway, but we might get a nasty surprise if we aren't careful. It is not just all-out kissing that is frowned upon, but much simpler acts too. Holding hands and hugging can also be serious offenses, so it might be wise to just not touch someone in any romantic fashion while you are out and about in Dubai. But hey, since it is so hot there most of the time, you might not want anybody touching you anyway. Eating during Ramadan. If you are visiting the city during the month of Ramadan, then it is important to remember not to eat in public. Those that are observing Ramadan will not eat or drink anything while the sun is up. To be clear, they do not expect foreigners to abide by these customs and fast all day, but they do want you to be respectful. Kids and pregnant women are normally exempt from the rules, but I would still be careful to not overdo it. What does that mean in practice? That you can't eat in full view of everyone, but you can still eat. The food courts in the malls, for example, will just be barricaded off so that they aren't in full view. They adjust things to make it easier for Westerners to follow the customs, but I can still understand that it might feel overwhelming if you aren't sure of all the rules. Dubai is an incredible city and one that gets the most visitors yearly, but there are still some things that make people hesitate to visit there. Rules for unmarried couples, drug rules, and other etiquette rules can feel intimidating. We will check out some of them next. Have any of you ever been to Dubai? How was it? Please let us know in the comments. Why is there fear for unmarried couples to travel there? This might be one of the hardest rules for couples to follow. Just staying in the same hotel room without being married can lead to fines or even jail, and is grounds to get you deported, ending your holiday right away. They are very serious about couples who are not married living together. Still, there are a few hotels that are okay with it. It might be best to check it out before you book your hotel. Just thinking that you are an adult and can do whatever you want won't cut it in Dubai. Rather be safe and sure of the plan before you get there and your hotel refuses to house both of you. It can be a seriously costly mistake. Suddenly having to pay twice the expenses for your accommodation can be steep, and you don't want to find that out the first time when you get there. But if you shop around a bit, you could find a hotel that is a bit more relaxed when it comes to those rules. Strict drug rules. This might be a serious one for people who have to take certain medications. And here I am not even just talking about recreational drugs, but actual prescribed meds too. First, this is seriously not the place to go if you feel the need to unwind with some recreational drugs. There is very little chance that you will get away with worth it, and it might extend your holiday for a few years while you visit the country's jail systems. But like I said, there are even some of the prescribed medicines that you won't be able to take into the country. Most anti-anxiety drugs aren't allowed, and many others too. There is an entire list on the United Arab Emirates official website to help you figure out what you can and can't bring into the country. If you are unsure and you want to take a chance with it, then make sure you bring the prescription with you too. But even then, if it is something that they won't allow in the country, they might just confiscate it. But at least then they won't give you a fine or send you to jail. Like I said, they are very clear on the rules, and it's not so bad if you follow it. Other etiquette rules to follow. There is still a bunch of stuff that could worry you when you travel to Dubai, like the rules that you just don't know about, but a little research can help you on the way. Things we take for granted, like taking lots of pictures on our holidays, might need to be adapted for your visit to Dubai. Taking pictures is not a problem, but taking pictures that include strange women or children could be. So taking pictures where there are lots of strangers in the background should be avoided. Many people wouldn't mind if you did take pictures as long as you asked, so the important thing is again to just be respectful and you will be fine. Then there are other rules, like never using your left hand to greet, and things like that could be intimidating, but most of the time foreigners won't be judged as harshly when making a mistake. Is the dress code intimidating? And one of the biggest fears when going to Dubai has to be the dress code. Women are not expected to dress as Muslim women do, but they do want you to dress in looser, more modest clothing. But these are generally more comfortable in the weather anyway. The dress code is not so strict to become a reason not to go. It is more just something to prepare for before you travel there. These are some rules to going to Dubai, but many people who have visited say they are all worth it. How many of you are planning a trip to Dubai? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.